Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we're going to start. Is everybody in your positions? 9 more seconds. Okay, I'm going to do the countdown. Everyone's in positions? Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Camera. We're live. We are live on Steinitch. And there you see them. That's the brainwaves right up there. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, theta. Everything. It's like you're looking inside my mind as I'm playing chess and as I'm experiencing all the thrills of the game and also planning my moves and everything. You can see how the insights arrive. You can see the fear. You can see the ecstasy, the thrill of defeat, the agony of success. Everything is there one way or the other. So I think you're going to enjoy tonight because it's the 13th day of Christmas. And this is going to be the last day of Christmas this year. I explained last night, a lot of people think there's only 12 days. There's actually 13, and there's historical reasons for that. You can watch my last broadcast to understand why there's 13 days. But you see, they begin on the 25th of December. That's the first day. Now let's count them up. Okay, so that's the first day. So 25. Now 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Counting too far, and so let's try that again. Okay, so 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you could see my hands, you could see my fingers at all times. There was no sleight of hand, no prestidigitation there. You have, that's the 13th day. It was 5 plus 5 plus 3. So we are, without any more ado, going to just go into before I start the game, I have to wish you your happiest 13th day of Christmas. And it's also already, can you believe that? The sixth day of the new year. And that's wonderful because it's just completing almost 1 week. So start off the new year right. Playing some chess, watching some nice King's Gambits. We're going to study the King's Gambit tonight, so everybody will know exactly how to play it. And without any more ado, now we'll go over to the game. This is a game that was played by a very, very famous player, Boris Spassky. He advanced a lot in the chess field, in theory and practice. Boris Spassky, he was a Russian, and he was playing against an American by the name of David Bronstein, also very, very, very famous player. David Bronstein had a really high rating, highest rating achieved in the database, 2590. He was, I said he was an American. Maybe I screwed up. Let me see. When Bronstein was 6, his grandfather taught him how to play chess. Later, when his family moved to Kiev, yeah, it doesn't sound like he's much of an American. He moved to Kiev, they say, right? Kiev. He joined so he moved to the place which is now in Ukraine. Well, it was always in the Ukraine, right? Now it's in Ukraine. He joined the city chess and checkers club, and yeah, that was a long time ago. He was born in 1924, and they're talking about the invasion of the Germans in 1944. And at that time, Bronstein joined the USSR. That was the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics championship semifinal. So he had a long career and was very good player as well. And he played against Boris Spassky. And where I found this chess game, they actually have a kind of an interesting description of it. They say here on the page, and I'll read it to you. It says right here about this game. It says Boris Spassky versus David Bronstein. It's a King's Gambit accepted modern defense, and it was played in Leningrad, USSR, on February 20, 1960, during the USSR Championship. So this was a championship game against two of the best players ever to live and to play chess. And the little title here on the page where I found this says, it says from Russia with love, Spassky versus Bronstein, 1960, one of the best games ever played. So there you have it. If you want to see one of the best games ever played, and it's a King's Gambit. King's Gambits are very interesting. So I think that you're going to really enjoy watching this game with me. So let's click through it, and I'll give you the play-by-play. I'm going to adjust this on the screen now so you can see much better the graph and everything. Okay, now we can all see it. So I'll expand. Should I expand it just a little bit? Yeah, that should be okay. And then I'll move it like this so you can see the graph down there at the bottom. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to go back in the Twitch again and look. Yeah, it looks like it's good. And the producer, the page is clear. The brainwaves are still going. You know, it's really hard to get those moving along. And it's called HTTP. It's pretty hard to broadcast brainwaves. You know, they inside your head. They go into the band. Then they have to be broadcast from the band through some sort of radio wave, Bluetooth, something. From there, they go into a cell phone where there is a special software called Mind Monitor that processes them and displays them on the screen. And then there's a thing called Screen Stream over HTTP, which is a special program that is um, it makes an interface with Twitch, and then Twitch is able to read the signals that it's sending and just display it on your screens there at home. So I think it's a really elaborate process, and it's a wonder it even works, but it does. So, without any more ado, I was, stalling for time here a little bit because we didn't have a chatter yet. I usually wait for the first chatter before I start the games, but I guess we'll just start in because a lot of times they'll just start jumping in with a chat when we're halfway through a game, and sometimes it's just good luck just to begin. So the chatters jump in and they chime out their presence by chatting some. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Oh, my cameraman's telling me something. Hold on a second. Oh, the glare. Okay, he doesn't like the glasses. He says it's giving some kind of a glare on the camera lens or something. So we'll take those off. I can see pretty good here anyway. Um, so without any more ado, let's jump into this game. Before we just jump into the game, we'll look here. It looks like a really interesting analysis here by Stockfish. When I'm playing King's Gambit or any opening, I love to see an analysis like this because it shows both players played a basically flawless opening. Because you see there's no big ups and downs for white or for black. They're both playing very, very well here. And then white starts to get some small incremental advantages and then just keeps capitalizing on that without any huge mistakes. Boris Spassky right over here, you can see, and I don't know if you're able to see this really clearly, but got to do a last minute adjustment here just really quick. Let me put this down. Okay, so that's good. Um, you can see Boris Spassky here. Maybe you can't see it too clearly, but right there he's got three what are called inaccuracies. And inaccuracies are not mistakes. It just means it's not exactly what the book or the not the book, but what it's not exactly according to what Stockfish sees as an optimal move. It's like a little bit suboptimal. It's called an inaccuracy. And he had just had three inaccuracies, but no mistakes, no blunders. That was Boris Spassky. Um, David Bronstein didn't do quite so well because he had a mistake. Like right there, you can see that jump. So they were playing along very, very, very good. And then suddenly Bronstein made a mistake. And then after the mistake, he made two blunders because, and we'll get into the game and you'll see maybe why he made those blunders. The basically the Spassky just gets the position so bewildering that I think just about anybody in the world would be possibly making a blunder under the pressure. So let's take a look here. Boris Spassky's playing the white, and I'm going to click here so we can see what he did. There you have it. It was, let me move this up so you can see the whole board. I was missing some of the black pieces there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and click this. And we can see the whole graph already. We don't have to see any more graph than that because it's all up here. So there's the king pawn opening. Black responds in kind. And there you have it. King's Gambit. Now the King's Gambit is a move where black can take the pawn. They call it a gambit because black is able to take the pawn. And although white cannot take the pawn immediately, some people question if this is a gambit or not because white can usually win back that pawn. It's not like he's just giving up the pawn. He can retake it if he wants to, usually at some point. But very often he just doesn't. I mean, last night we showed where another player had, it was Philidor, gambited this first pawn, then gambited this next pawn, and then gambited this next pawn. That was in our review last night. So sometimes it's a true gambit where you give away a lot of pawns for a strong attack. So that's the king's gambit. Let's see what that's accepted. Okay, that's called the accepted position, where black just goes ahead and takes the pawn. And there's a lot of things that can be said for either side. Um, remember, this was a world championship game. Or not a world championship. They weren't playing for the world title, but it was a championship game played in Russia. It was a USSR championship. So Spassky is going to play. It's a little bit more conservative move, I think, than bringing the bishop out. A lot of people bring the bishop out, open themselves up to a check, and things get crazy really quick. And this knight move makes sure that the queen cannot automatically check the king. So he's playing a little bit more conservatively than a lot. When that pawn comes up, I always take it. Just from experience, it's always good just to get that bad boy out of there, and it opens up possibilities. You'll see how it works out. So you just take it normally, and that's what Bronstein did. Just took it. It's an easy move. You don't have to waste a lot of time deliberating whether you're going to take that pawn or not. Just always know. Queen pawn moves up to that white square. Just take him. And black now is going to develop his king side. He wants to castle. He wants to get his king out of the middle. This is an interesting move by white. White is not in such a hurry to castle. He's playing with quite a bit more um, courage here, you might say, a little bit more edgy. He's saying, well, I could move out my bishop, or I could move up this. Normally, you move up this pawn before playing the bishop behind the pawn in a situation like this. Um, but he doesn't do any of those. He brings the knight up. This knight is very important. It covers this square and also protects the pawn. But this square is very important very often in the king's gambit. Wow, that's an interesting move, and you see, it's not a mistake or even in inaccuracy or anything. It's just a good move. The the analysis doesn't hardly change at all when Bronstein does that. And then white, like I said, he probably wants to advance his pawn up. It's important to have that pawn up, give your queen some breathing space, and also you don't want to develop this bishop, like in front of this pawn, obviously, and it's kind of like sitting behind this pawn. So he's probably thinking about bringing his bishop to there, and before he does it, he has to move the pawn up. Black castles, and then there you go. White brings the bishop up. Now, when you play the King's Gambit, you're going to just see these moves again and again and again in many, many games that you play. This idea of developing this bishop to here. Sometimes, depending on the position, it can come out to here. In this case, it couldn't because of the pawn sitting there, but sometimes it can come out to here. Sometimes it comes out to here and then comes back to here. But this is a pretty strong position for the bishop because you can get some pretty good attacks over here on the king side. So once again, for those of you that are just joining the game, this is a championship game by Boris Spassky against David Bronstein on February 5, 1960, in the USSR Championship. This is a championship game of an example of a King's Gambit accepted, and it's said to be one of the most beautiful games ever played. So let's just hang in there and see why it's so great. So Bronstein makes another developing move. He's castled. Got his knights off the back rank. Obviously, he's got to think about what he's going to do with this bishop. But the knight couldn't come out here because of this pawn, so probably the knight is headed over to here, and then he'll figure out what to do with his bishop. So white's getting ready for whatever's going to happen. Before you start your attack and everything, you got to kind of you normally get your king out of the way before you start the attack. This is an interesting move, seen very often in King's Gambit. You're going to attack on the king's side, and the knight that's very, very far away, you just start edging him over. He's not really threatening to take this bishop, probably. Um, he's just getting over there close, preparing for the attack. This could also be preparing to move this pawn up. Don't those pawns start to look pretty formidable out there as a block of pawns out in the center? So black removes one of those pawns. He probably didn't like the prospect of this pawn coming up, like as I was just talking about. That would look pretty formidable. So he removes one of them so they can't get that strong. And Spassky brings the pawn up anyway. He doesn't have that huge triangle of pawns out here anymore, but he does have the two in the row and kicking the knight out. The knight probably won't advance because after trading off, white can easily win this pawn. Oh, you came up. Okay, so then um, white goes ahead and takes it. The pawn takes. And white will, you'll see, he can either take this pawn, or in many cases, you see in the King's Gambit, black gets a pawn up here pretty close, like around the sixth rank, like this, around black's sixth rank, and white will sometimes just maneuver around it as he goes into the attack. So as you saw, Spassky moved the pawn up. Bronstein has to retreat the bishop. I mean, he could bring it out to here, conceivably, but that would basically be problematic because there's no reason, there's nothing stopping white from advancing this pawn, and then the bishop would have to come back here, and then this it would create some. He didn't like the prospect of that. He retreated the bishop, and now this bishop comes back. Now when I do that, and at my level of playing chess, I do that a lot. I bring that bishop back because I kind of think most of you can see obviously what's happening there. It's just a very obvious positional move where Spassky's going to put the queen out there in front of it, and then, he's got that attacking diagonal down against the king. And he's just leaving the pawn there. When he comes up here, he might be able to take the pawn if he wants to, but he probably will just let the pawn sit there while he goes for the attack. Oh, and he did it. So there he's got, it's called a battering ram, sometimes called that on the diagonal. You can have battering rams in a straight line with rooks, or this one with the queen. The queen at the end of a bishop like this is really, really powerful because it can come down and deliver mate. A lot of times you'll get the queen back here and the bishop in front, and that's not nearly as powerful. You can sometimes come down and win a pawn or something, but then the king just jumps out of the way of the bishop. But this is much more formidable when you have the queen in front of the bishop like that. Now the pawn came down. Um, it's maybe a kind of a delaying move because he's obviously going to get taken, but it does it does have the effect of moving the queen off from that diagonal. So he's going to lose the pawn anyway, so why not use the pawn to gain a little bit of time? But Spassky says, hey, I don't care. Go ahead and take me. Put me in check if you want to. Um, that's a pretty amazing move. For those of you that can see that, he can't really checkmate so easily because when the pawn takes the rook, that's check, and white has to respond to that check before he can deliver a mate. So Spassky is being very ballsy here, moving the knight up, in a sense, sacrificing that knight, and he's doing so at pretty great risk. Now, it's so interesting that in the game, and that was, you see, um, down here, you can see that was David Bronstein's first mistake. And even at my level of playing, I can see why that's a mistake. He brought the knight back. That's a mistake because if you can take the rook and put him in check, you might as well do it because then this rook comes over. At least you want a rook, and then you can bring the knight over. So there was really no reason to hastily bring that knight over. He could have done it after he took the rook, then it brought the knight over. So that was Bronstein's first mistake because Bronstein moved his knight back there. He wants to prevent this mate here. He could have also prevented it by moving this pawn up, but that would have been really disastrous because that's why Spassky moved his knight here. If this pawn comes up, this knight takes this pawn, and suddenly um, this pawn that was moved up here doesn't have its support anymore, and unless he moves the knight here, the same move he made now, um, that pawn's going to fall and he's going to be checkmated. So I think that's like the only good move is to bring the knight back. But he should have taken this rook first, as we discussed. That was his mistake. So now it's Spassky's move, and it looks like, in a sense, he's thwarted here because the knight is protecting very, very well. And the question mark is there simply because he should have taken this first, but that's the proper move. So Spassky says, "Well, you didn't take my knight, did you? But I'm going to get rid of that knight one way or the other. I'm going to give it to you." So um, he comes over there, removes that pawn, which is the support for this pawn, and he figures, well, I'd add that pawn as it's in its protective function to the king is more important to me than one of my knights. All right, hey, that's great. We got chess Chopin here, and for those of you who don't know about that, Chopin was a very talented musician, and which is also an important skill for anyone that wants to play chess. So hope you enjoy the game, and let's go ahead and see how they played this out. So we moved that little defender there, and hello, Chess Chopin. That's a really nice name that you have there. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, that's a really nice name. I hope you're enjoying the game. This is what they say, one of the most beautiful games of all time. And so far it's been pretty wild. Already we're only on the 16th move, and Spassky has already offered his knight twice. Yeah, a lot of people join for the brainwaves. I'm watching them as I play too, and it's kind of a temptation for me to just stop looking at the chessboard. I just like to mesmerize on those things. I zone out looking at them because they're just so intriguing to watch them go up and down. And a lot of the people that watch my channel, they don't even chat. They just sit there watching those things the whole time. So yeah, it takes time. You got to know how to look at the patterns. Like right now, nothing's really happening. They're kind of like not doing too much unless you're very perceptive. But you'll see when the pressure's on or when I get an insight. The delta, they pay a lot of attention to the delta. The alpha too is very indicative of a lot of thinking and move states. So I'll keep playing so you can kind of see how it works out in the thick of the game. So he went ahead and took that, and now he was able to get the move in he should have done before. Um, he took the nut. He took the rook. So you see, Spassky's sacrificing a lot of stuff. He sacrificed the knight. He also sacrificed this rook by allowing the pawn to just sit there and take him. And now he's got a queen here, and he's checking white, and then white can easily take. And now Bronstein has a choice of what he needs to do. And this was one of Bronstein's. Was this one? Yeah, that was his. Wait, no, that's not a mistake. That's just an inaccuracy. Yeah, that was one of his inaccuracies. Just an inaccuracy, not a mistake. Well, yeah, he was a world champion, and he had some really great games against Bobby Fischer too in the 1970s. A lot of people don't understand that he could play these spectacular attacking games because he was known for these really very carefully thought out, elaborate, plotting, calculating games of analysis. But this game here, this King's Gambit he played in 1960 is just incredible in the tradition of gambits and edgy attacks. Yeah, prearranged draws. That's what Bobby Fischer always said, right? So here we go. Bronstein moved the bishop out, and I don't know why he did that. I have to think about why he did that. He's supposed to bring the queen out here. Looks like he just gives the bishop away. Let's see how that plays out. So he brought the bishop out. But it's not a big mistake. It moved him up a little bit on the graph. So let's see how that plays out. So the queen takes the bishop. But now I guess that was his idea, just to threaten to exchange the queen somehow. It's hard to understand exactly what just happened right there, but they're obviously doing something good because the stockfish was not giving indicating bad mistakes or anything. Okay, and now Spassky just keeps moving his knights closer. This knight has been there for a while. He tried to sacrifice it. Black wouldn't take it. Now he's finally got the other knight up here to defend it, and the other knight well protected by the pawn. The bishop is still threatening to support the queen on this space, except the knight is doing a stalwart job um, defending that space right there. Queen comes over. That was a blunder. That was Bronstein's big blunder right there. Really, you can see how it jumped up on the graph right there. And there you go. So the bishop comes up, threatening to move the knight out to great effect with a discovered check. And like most players are going to do, they're going to move the king out of the. I mean, Leach has, or rather, the stockfish is saying, "Well, get your king out of the discovered check," but Bronstein didn't. He decided to take that knight, and then yeah, most players resign. Well, here he's plus, he's 6.7 points behind on the stockfish. And Black decided to take that bishop instead of, he said, well, go ahead and give me this discovered check if you want to. So Spassky did it, got the discovered check. Um, this knight could come up to here. Probably looks like the best move right now because the knight's no longer needed on this square because the bishop is not there anymore, but he brought the king over there. And there you go. That's the end of the game where Bronstein finally resigned because he's minus 25.1 behind. And you can kind of like work out why that would be. Let's say, for example, doesn't have a lot he can do. Like the only way he can do is if he brings the king back, he's going to get checked probably with the knight, and then the king can only go up to here, and there's a lot of things that white can do, and if he interposes this pawn here, that's really bad too because this knight's the only thing defending this pawn. So suppose white does that to remove the knight, and then the king can come up in a pretty terrible way. Um, there's like it's hard to this is where I always get into trouble. I I get winning positions and then I can't find the checkmate. So it's not like it just so obviously won or anything, but at 25 on the stockfish, um, it's just like Chopin is saying here, Chess Chopin. It's a really solid winning position. All right, we can if I turn this on, we can see what the moves would be. So if I turn this little button here, we got the analysis, and we'll just see what Stockfish will tell us about the analysis. So here's where Bronstein resigned, and if I put the mouse right up here, it says that his best move is to move the pawn out. And now it shows that the best move is, oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't see that. So it's right down there. And it puts him in check with the rook in a horrible way because the rook is defended by bishop and knight and not attacked by anything except the queen. And now, black loses the queen in a big way. Like his only way is to, he could move the queen king back there, but Stockfish is saying that's his best move is to take. And now the bishop comes down. Bishop comes down, threatening to take here, removing this pawn. And that's his best move to come up there. And now the bishop takes that pawn. If the knight takes the bishop, that's what most players would do. And then the queen comes in here, takes the knight. And now the king goes back. But, we're only plus, I made another mistake and we went from 25 down to 8 suddenly. It's like, I always do this. And there always got, at that point, you have checkmate in 18. So, that's a pretty interesting game. Just click through really fast the opening moves there. Just watch how Spassky comes out with a really edgy attack. So, clicking through looks very strong for white. Spassky has these pawns coming up and then takes there, and we'll get to the really, really, okay, he's got the battering ram set up. And there you go. Comes down there with the knight threatening to take out this pawn. This knight comes back to avoid the checkmate, then sacrifices that knight. And then after that, the whole analysis here where Bronstein holds on to a viable defense for a few moves, but then makes this huge blunder here, and that's all she wrote. All that history wrote. I want to wish you a really nice 13th day of Christmas, and that was a great game. If I have any challenges, I'll play them. Let me see if anyone's challenging me over here on Lee Chess. No, I don't have any challenges. So, without any challenges, and I don't have another game to analyze. So, oh, the spectator room. Um, I got a spectator here too. I got viewers on Twitch, but I got spectators over here too. That's cool. Well, they know I'm broadcasting on Twitch. If they want to come over, they can join the chat here. It's hard to chat in two places at the same time. So let's go ahead and go over here. That's funny. We're gonna do a game. I don't have any challenges, so I'm gonna go over here and just create a game. I'll play a casual game because a lot of my chatters are constantly giving me advice, and it's not fair. So play a casual game without a rating. See how it goes. Oh, we're playing a person 21-29. It's pretty high level. It's almost like a international master or something. We'll see how this works out. Um, wow, he's already doing some tricky stuff there. Um, I don't know. I think I'll just develop my king side and get ready to castle over here. On this game, I think I'm not gonna do anything really edgy. I was gonna try something really edgy there, but I'm just gonna try to maintain here. This guy's rated like really high, and this bishop is gonna be best sitting there. I'm gonna try to make this pawn advance if I can. Okay, this is the edgiest move that I know, and I think I can do it right now. This kind of position, I like to get the bishop here because it does something kind of tricky. It eyes this square through the pawn, and that sometimes comes in handy. Now I'm going to get really edgy here and just see. Okay, he's doing very well. I got to watch the clock here too. I'm going to keep developing now. Just see if we can win this game. I'm just going to do the basic developing moves, castle, and he did too. I'm going to keep developing, bring a rook over into the center and see what he's got up his sleeve. Normally when they do that and this pawn gets under a lot of pressure, I take the center pawn just kind of like as a matter of course. Um, I'm going to come up here, and it's not because I want to advance these pawns. I want to give this knight a place to move because I'm thinking about buttressing this pawn to move him up. And that doesn't bother me at all because the knight's very well protected. And we'll see what happens here. He's pausing there for a second. I don't know if he was anticipating that pawn move. And we'll see what happens. This is an interesting game. 335 to 416. We're doing okay on the clock. And I'm going to follow through with my plan. My plan was to advance that pawn. Didn't have that planned out quite so well. I should have. No, and that's not going to help me either. I should have buttressed that a little bit better. Um, I'm going to bring the bishop all the way back. I kind of screwed up there. I thought I had enough against that pawn and I didn't. I just completely miscalculated that. I'm going to bring more against that pawn. Before I did that, I made sure that the bishop couldn't skewer. I mean, he can't because I got this pawn here. I'm going to come more against that pawn. Now I've got 3 pieces on it. He's defending with only 2, so maybe I'll be able to finally take that pawn like I was expecting to in the beginning, but miscalculated. This knight I got to be worried about a little bit, but he doesn't have another way to attack it for the second time. Okay, so I got to take while the going's good. But I got to make sure he can't just do something dastardly with that knight. I think the plan is to come up here. He could come up here and check me with the knight, but I don't see where that's going to bother me too much. The knight doesn't command any really important squares, at least not immediately from this. I mean, I have to move my queen out of danger, but I should still be able to keep this defended. I think I won a game against a person rated 2100. Did I? I think you, oh no. I was going to say you lost a piece, but that's about as far I can see, huh? Um, no, this is an important move. What can I do? If I could just see what to do now, I think I could win this game. I think I'm going to avoid losing this rook because that rook can't come down. I don't want to trade off that rook. This rook really can't come down because of the 2 bishops. So there I kind of like, I basically lost It looks like I lost a rook, but not exactly because I come over here threatening his knight. He can defend that though with his rook. And I really can't take the knight. If he does that though, I will come up here, blocking his queen from this knight. If this knight moves out, well, he didn't move out, but I'm going to, this could be the wrong move, but I think the knight is better there than over there. Um, I just got to play the clock right now. I just lost my, not kind of like lost, I just kind of like traded another exchange. Now I got 3 minor pieces against, here I thought I was going to win this game and I'm getting attacked pretty fast left and right. Um, it's got a strong game here. I think this is the only thing I can do. Try to get a sacrifice of the bishop here and go for. No, I can't do that. Hmm. Can save my bishop, but all I can. Oh well, now I'm gonna. He's outplayed me completely. He's got a discovered check on me here too, so I'm gonna resign. That was a good game. Anyway, a very high rated player and just outplayed me. And I actually beat that guy. I'm looking at the chart here. I beat that guy. If I played him a few times already, I beat him twice, but I didn't that time. So that was kind of interesting. I wasn't even looking at the brainwaves. I just got so bewildered there. I didn't have time to look at the brainwaves, but maybe some people were like watching the patterns and can tell me if you saw anything interesting in the brainwaves on that game. Let's go ahead and do like a really quick recap. I mean, like really quick because, oh, he wants to rematch me? Oh, that would have been cool, but he already went away. I didn't even see he wanted to play again. Because I had a pretty good game there in the beginning, I think. Let's look at the analysis board. Request a computer analysis. Yeah, did I mention? Today's the 13th day of Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. That was a good opening. All the way through the opening, Black had the advantage. I can say that much. And then I started to make some mistakes. But I had a good opening. I actually opened with the advantage, which is pretty cool. So let's just click through the opening because we do like to study openings. And here you can see it as I click through the opening. And I'm proud to say that I played like a perfect opening without any inaccuracies against a player rated very high, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just making moves that looked good. And I said that was a little bit edgy because I'm eyeing that square through the pawn. And then I did something over here, a little bit aggressive, moving the pawns up. Still, we haven't made any inaccuracies, and we're just using developing principles. I guess that was my first inaccuracy. There's Stockfish is saying to bring this knight here. I already was going to go with my plan of pushing the pawns up. And that's what I did. And then I just started screwing up because I wanted to push that pawn up and I pushed him way too soon. Um, I would have had to protect that pawn better if I wanted to play that game correctly. Let's just see what Stockfish now says. I like this position, but I would like to see how I should have continued from this. So Stockfish says that it keeps telling me I should bring the knight over here. It was telling me to do that before. And now they're saying that the best move for black is this one. And now the best move for white would be to remove that. And I can already see that with the stockfish. It's just so elaborate. I can't really fathom um, what the strategies are here. So it's kind of like a little bit pointless to play this through unless I was just going to study it completely. But anyway, we did play flawless opening in a sense without any mistakes or inaccuracies. So that was valid. I think let's um, let's get those brainwaves moving this time. Okay, we're gonna get those things really jumping. We'll play one more game because it's always cool to play chess with brainwaves. And we already had one chatter who came to see the brainwaves. Hopefully, we'll have some more. They were out on the chart. And we're playing black again. And I guess we're going to kind of like do the same opening here. Um, protect that pawn. Ooh, wow, look at my gamma. All alone down there. Um, gamma is really doing some weird stuff. It like separated from everything else and went down really low. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I can already move this. I read a chess book once, and I don't know. I just remember somebody saying advance that pawn up as soon as you can. And in this case, I can do it. So I'm kind of like applying a principle. I don't know if it's a valid principle, but a principle that was in a chess book, and they said advance that thing up. So I'm going to castle already because I'm looking pretty good here, I think. Now, if I retake with the pawn, it's one thing. And I think I'm going to do that because if I retake with the knight, I get the pawn up here anyway if he trades me. So maybe that's my best move, retake with the pawn. Then he can't just trade me off. And I got to think of some way to attack. The queen and the bishop would like to do a battering ram, although he has this really good. He can really block me out with that pawn. I got to figure out something better than just that. I think to do something tricky. Oh, wait a second. If I bring the, I'm going to get a pin on that. I'm going to bring this out as quickly as possible. I'm going to bring him out to here, and so I can free up this. And I'm going to bring the rook over to get the pin on that knight. Okay, so now this is interesting. I might. Oh, I wanted to move my queen, and I moved my rook. Oh, wow. That was so weird. Did you see my waves flatlined? That was just so weird. I'm just going to move him back. My idea was to move my queen up, and I could have won that pawn. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just wasn't. I don't know. It was like a pawn slip. I thought I clicked on my queen. If I replayed that, I'll probably see that my mouse was just like right there. But in the end, who knows? It might be for the best. Winning that little pawn down there might not have been in my destiny. Maybe I got bigger things in store. We're still doing good on the time and everything. He probably thinks I'm an idiot by this point, so I'll just move my queen out and see, maybe get a sucker's mate. Because this really weird moving the rook back and forth might have faked him out, thinking I don't know what I'm doing at all. And I don't know what I'm doing, but okay, came up there. Wow. No, I really have no idea. I think I'm going to. I don't like to change rooks. I'm going to move that rook out. And I saw that like a second too late. I saw that move second too late. And I noticed that he could do that. I'm going to resign. Oh, and you look at the waves, how they all went down there. As soon as I had the insight that I had really screwed up, you could see how all my brainwaves just dropped, like despair. Um, oh, and he was rated really high too. I would have liked to have won that game. Okay, I'm gonna resign. It was a mouse slip that did me in, I think, in that game. Kind of like broke my concentration, and then we'll try one more. I guess I don't know how many we're gonna do. We're not really strong on chat tonight, and I'm not getting a lot of challenges either on Lead Chess. Oh, we got a first time chat. That's cool. Nice to have you here. Yeah, go ahead. Play me, whatever. Do you know how to do the? Maybe I can click myself off the challenge list. Do you know how to do the challenges in Lead Chess? If you can challenge me in Lead Chess, I'll play you. Okay, it's Steinitch. Stein, like a stein you drink out of, Stein, Stine, and then itch, like you have an itch to drink from a stein. Stein itch. Yeah, I'll type it right here. Steinitch. Right here. Stine and then ITCH on Lichess. Steinitch. Actually a pretty good typer. I had a mouse slip in that last move, and it was in that last game, and it was just so incredibly at the wrong point. And then now I'm glad at least I can type my name. At the rate I'm going, I won't even be able to do that. Okay, so let me see if you're on here on the. Oh, you're already here. Okay, so best gamer, cool gamer. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's kind of an honor to play against the best gamer and the cool gamer ever. Oh yeah, I'll play bullet. I never do this. I always play 5 minute, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll probably lose on time, but I need to learn how to do this. I guess I don't have any idea how to do it. Um, I would love to. See, I tried to castle and I couldn't. I just, like moving kind of fast and should have moved a little bit better, but I didn't. Oh, I'll just set things up for a checkmate, I guess. Is that how you play bullet? You kind of just like move around waiting for someone to make a checkmate. Uh, this is weird. I don't know if that what happened there. Oh, I see. Wow, I don't know what to do now. You're getting me. You're really getting me. I have no idea. 37 seconds to 29 seconds. I guess I'll move this bishop out. No, I have to come back. Is he going to just come down and check me now with his? Okay, he came up there. Um, I'm going to get my queen out of there. Okay, and bring my queen back. I gotta get this bishop out for sure. I gotta get my white square bishop out as soon as possible. Wait a second, you resigned? I can't believe I won a game of bullet chess. I don't think I've ever even played that before. Okay, let's play, yeah, you got pinned there. I just saw that and got the queen pinned. So, but that was fun. I'm glad we're doing this. These are pretty interesting games. Guess put you in check. Don't know if that'll work. Will that work? Um, I don't know. Maybe develop this bishop somewhere. Okay. I guess you're gonna come down there and really freak me out, right? Should I just bring this guy back where he was? wow. This is something crazy, 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 crazy. These are like just crazy games. I gotta get this bishop out of here. Maybe bring him back to there. At least he'll be safe. Um, should I try this again? I mean, your queen was back there, but... Oh, and you took my bishop. Oh, wait, I'm not doing very good here. I'm kind of like losing on time. I gotta come over here now. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna lose on time. I got only 4 seconds left. Crap, I'm really screwing up here big time. Wow, you're just, man. I could have won that probably. Ah, man. Are we playing bullet chess or what? Do I still have time or what? Why do I still have time? I thought, well, there I got. Are we playing with an increment or something? I'm getting really confused. I'm gonna resign. Did you give me extra time or something? I don't understand. I was expecting the game to. Oh, you gave me extra time. Okay, I thought it was just a straight game, and then I was thinking, well, what's happened? Do you like to play bullet chess? I mean, would you like to play a kind of a game that I feel more comfortable with, which is 5-0, 5 minutes and zero? Is that okay? Like for me, I don't have to like go all out crazy. I just kind of like can think a little bit. Okay, I don't know what kind of increment this is. 15 seconds against 1 minute. Oh, so you can play me. I have 1 minute and you only got 15 seconds. Okay, so that's a little bit of a good handicap for me, I guess. That makes it more manageable. I think I might be able to have some chance here, but I don't know. Um, I can think a little bit, but I know you're playing really fast. Really, really fast. 38 seconds I got now. I'm going to come back here because I want to complicate this game a little bit, not make it too simple for you. You're doing good on the clock. I don't want to make things too simple for you. Keep moving up. Get some threats going here, maybe. Lock down the position over there. I don't know where that's coming from. Wow. I'm going to lose on time unless I just come up here like really big. Oh, I lost on time, and you were going to take my queen anyway. Um, you know, I'm. This is great though. Did you see my brainwaves? You know, they always go up really high, even if I lose, because immediately when I lose, I'm thinking, oh, I don't have the pressure anymore, and that brain just gets so happy. Um, and I think that's why we're addicted to chess. When we win, we feel elated, and when we lose, we feel relieved that we're out of our misery. But hey, that was a lot of fun, man. That was cool, and I think you live up to your name. I think you maybe are the best gamer that ever played at least this that modality. And now you kept giving me extra time. Where you gave me a handicap and then I couldn't do it fast enough, and you gave me a lot of extra time. That was very sporting of you. Okay, so do a rematch. Okay, so what is this? 15 seconds? Oh man, this is just fast. What is this? Now I got 45 seconds. Okay, 44 seconds. Um, Don't know, just keep moving around, I guess. I would love to try to get a winning game here finally. Uh, don't know if I can though. Um, doesn't really help me very much, I guess. I don't know. What can I do here? Protect that. Checkmate! All right. Oh, look at the brainwaves. They got just so high when I was getting the checkmate. Wow, 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 wow. So that was all right. I mean, I kind of like I kind of redeemed myself a little bit in that game, I guess, because I got a checkmate. But did you give me extra time? I mean, that's not really fair. Yeah, you gave me extra time. That's not very good. I mean, I just can't beat you on the clock. No way. You're too fast. Like, it's hard for me to think this fast. What is this? A quarter plus zero? Um, I have no idea. I have no idea. Kind of like playing an opening I think I never even saw before. So we'll see how it goes. I think you can probably do some weird stuff against me. I'm out of time again. Oh, that time I wasn't relieved. I was a little bit pissed off that I was out of time and my brainwaves went down right at the end. Well, that was fun. I mean, these games are. I never did this before, and I can see why people like it because it's just so. It's just so fast. I mean, it's like incredibly. It's just lightning quick. Okay, let me see if I can play this better. It's kind of like you have to have your sequence of moves already in mind and just you don't have really time to think, well, he did that, so I'll do this. I don't know. I'm doing a King's Gambit here and would love to just win this game if I can. Oh, what? I had checkmate and it's like I didn't move fast enough. I was supposed to take that pawn and put you in mate and it's like I think I lost by 1/100th of a second that time. I got to learn to just move that thing faster. Like it's kind of like playing Counter Strike, right? You got to just have it's like partly coordination more than thinking. You gotta. Yeah, I don't know how to pre-move. I know I'm ignorant, okay, but I've never done that. I've never had to do that at the games at the speeds I normally play at, and I just don't know how to do it. I don't know if you could give me a lesson on a pre-move. I could maybe learn how to do it because this is impossible without pre-moving, I think. I'm just gonna gambit a pawn here because I gotta figure out something to do. Gotta kind of be smart. I have to grab that thing while the going's good. Oh, and that's checkmate. Yeah, you had me checkmated. That was a pretty good tactic. I mean, in a normal game, a person should be able to defend against that, but in that game. It was just, I knew I was in trouble over there, but I gotta move. Oh, yeah, I've seen that in some games where people are moving fast in the end game. It's like sometimes I'm able to move because I got like that extra edge. I'm moving faster than him, and his clock is going down and mine is not. I mean, I think that's what's happening with me. But how do I move before the other person moves? I don't, I'm really ignorant. I really don't know this fast chess and all this stuff about pre-moves and moving before you do. But I know there's like a timing to that. There's like a rhythm, right? Okay, move before you do. Okay, so there I pre-moved. Is that how you pre-move? I just clicked. Like I'm gonna play. I'm just trying to move fast. I think to play this game correctly, you gotta kind of like know how to move the safe moves. Let's put it that way, right? I mean, it's the only way, right? Oh, did I lose my queen? Well, I'm gonna resign because I lost my queen. And when I lost my queen, I just flatlined it, like overwhelmed the software program because when the brainwaves do too much stuff, you just flatline with this program I'm using. Okay, move before I move. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that. Move before you move. Play us. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying last time. Yeah, I gotta just play a safe move. Okay, so what's a safe move? And that's a safe move. I'm gonna play some safe moves here. These all look pretty safe. That's a safe move. Okay, that was a little bit edgy. Oh boy. Okay, I'm doing some safe moves here, but not moving fast enough. Look at that. I'm already out of time. I mean, I had some safe moves, and I actually got a little bit ahead of material, but I lost on the clock. Okay, so pre-move, move before you do, move safe moves. Okay, so a safe move. Um, okay, I'll abort the game and rematch because that was not a safe move. I don't see why I should move. I think in the beginning to move very safely, I'll just move the pawns like one square because I don't know any really safe openings. Every pawn opening I know has inherent dangers if you don't just do the right thing. I don't really know. Doesn't seem like there's any way. And I can't assume that you're going to make mistakes either. Wow. See, I'm already just like sitting here hesitating and everything. It's horrible. Oh, I ran out of time when you had zero point 0.3 seconds. That was pretty close in time, I guess. And I was going to take your queen, but you were going to take my queen. But play that opening that I played this game. Okay, yeah, I can't really remember what you did, but I'll try. I kind of remember what you were doing with white. Yeah, I saw you move your king pawn up one square. And then I just got to go boom, 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 boom. Right? The opening, go back in the game. Yeah, like doom, 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 doom. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna pre-move some because. Oh, look at the opening. Okay, let me go back. Um. Oh, you're already playing again now. So trying to go like really safe here. I'm trying to do some pre-moves. And I can see, if I can get some sort of a weird attack on your king, no matter how remote, I may as well just go for it because that's how it works, right? I mean, you just have to. Oh, no, I thought I was going to win you. Oh, no. Wow, my brainwaves were spaced out that time, and then right at the checkmate, they jumbled up like all together. Yeah, that was I can see where that opening. It's kind of a weird opening. I would never play that in a normal game, but I can see that that works in this really fast game because it's like right in the beginning, I'm just kind of like trying to get into a kind of a solid position. Yeah, safe opening and fast, and then just start looking for trappy stuff. I think that's what you're doing, right? You get a safe opening, and then you're thinking, well, the luck of the draw, I do this checkmate, put my queen down there, and that should work, and just kind of like go for something trappy, I think. I mean, I'm sure that as you get better at this, you have better strategies, but there you see, you're already starting to get me a little bit bamboozled here. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You're really playing the clock great. I mean, I don't know how you do that because you're reacting to what I'm doing and at the same time, but you're just reacting so fast. Yeah, you're using a different kind of a brain process. Yeah, I'm faster. I mean, I'm not, just kind of like getting the hang of it a little bit, but I got a long way to go before I start to be able to play these games without just running out of time. There's like different configurations I can see that are gonna help me, and a part of it I think is just timing, right? And having like a little thing in the back of your mind to react. Take him and hopefully take him, but I couldn't take him, but I can take him. Okay, and then come out here, and then here, then here, then here, and then what? I'm trying to move my rook, damn it. Oh no. You had 3 seconds left. And I don't know, I kind of knew I was going to lose that, and that's why my brain waves kind of scrunched together like that. I was a little bit despair at the end there because I was thinking I should get a win out of this, but I'm not moving fast enough. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't. Okay, pre-moving just means you click on it and move it when it's not your turn. That's what you're telling me, right? It's just a single pre-move. I think you can only do a single pre-move in chess. Is that correct? And chess, you can't do a bunch of them like you can in some interfaces. See, now I'm not pre-moving at all, and that's why I'm losing so much time. I'm just always playing with a little bit of a delay and screwing up in that way. It's like I should be better at what I'm doing. Yeah, you see? What? That was a 15-minute game, a 15-second game, and you only lose 3 seconds off your clock. So, I don't think I stand. I mean, I got to figure out how the rhythm is because You're telling me to move before you do, and I'm always like moving just a little bit after you care. Don't care about the material advantage? Yeah, I can see. Time is much more important than material in this game, right? Like, time is your most precious resource. Okay, so you're a pretty good coach, actually. I should have figured that out by myself, but it's all about time. It's about time. It's about space. You can sack a few pieces. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you can always sack a few pieces, but in this game, you can sack them a lot more. You just sack, 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 you know. And, okay, let me just sack some pieces and try to go for the checkmate here if I can. I'm going really slow. Wow. I'm going to sack a piece. Oh, no. Oh, it's like once again, my brainwaves went way up when I saw that it was the end of the game because I was just feeling just so. Okay, I'm gonna learn how to do this. Should I do like a really weird opening and just see if it works? Like that was tricky, right? You're gonna do the same thing to me, and I just lost a lot of time worrying about my time. Like I was thinking, oh yeah, I want a rook, and you can't stop and think, oh, I want a rook in this game. No way. 11 seconds. You still are 11 seconds on the clock. I'm going to have to sacrifice a lot of pieces. I kind of getting the idea that the strategy in this game is kind of like, yeah, move the mouse fast, right? Okay, let me try to just move this mouse faster, faster, faster. Okay, here we go. Fast, 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 fast. Fast, 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 fast. I'm playing against the fastest gamer who ever existed. Go to the setting in your PC. What? What are you telling me? Am I setting in the PC? I gotta go faster somehow? I have to like reconfigure my PC to play this game? Like what? Oh, I know. Yeah, there's a thing in your PC. Um, okay, I can search here. It's in hmm, it's in mouse, right? MOUS mouse. Mouse configuration. Mouse is a small rodent, it says. I'm not very good at this. I'm not very. No, been a long time since I did configurations in my computer. So, mouse configuration, mouse controller app. Yes, that's it. Um, I just, when computers first came out, I used to do all this stuff. Oh no, that's a macro thing I downloaded years ago. I don't know how that is, but that was just. Let me see, mouse configure. Configure mouse. I'm never going to find it because in mouse configuration, that's it. Configure the mouse. There, opening. Turn the speed up. Okay, so let's see. I thought I was finding it in my computer. Oh wait, I know. I have to look here. So mouse configuration, mouse controller. No, no, it's not that. I don't know. I think my computer doesn't have a mouse. It must have a mouse, right? Maybe because it's plug and play. Mouse configuration settings. But when I down here, that's mouse. That's all of that stuff is internet. Okay, in the search box, type mouse and then click mouse. Okay, let me follow your instructions. Okay, so mouse, mouse, and then it's click mouse. I already tried clicking mouse settings. click the pointer options tab, mouse pointer size, it's probably that. But, oh yeah, that's the settings, right? Okay, so finally, okay, so I'm following your advice and yeah, I'm on Windows. I mean, this is a Windows computer. Okay, so I finally got this mouse pointer and touch. Um, mouse pointer speed. That must be that, right? So roll the mouse pointer speed. That's got to be it, right? If I click over here, I can like, what does that mean? It's not moving any faster. Doesn't change until I click it or what? Mouse pointer speed didn't really change. Lines to scroll at a time. Mouse pointer. I mean, when I move that way, oh yeah, it went slower. So yeah, maybe it's a little faster. I'll just put it all the way up. Okay. HTTPS. If I click there. Oh, mouse speeder. Size and fast. Okay, well I guess it's faster now. I think I did that. Okay, so let's try another game because it's faster now. It's like moving all over it very quick. Oh yeah, it's a lot faster. This is going to be completely different for me. Okay, so I gotta find the lead chest again. Did I get? Where is it? Let me find it here. Got a lot of windows open. Okay, I was doing that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh, I'm out of lead chest. I gotta put the lead chest. Okay, I gotta go back to here and put lead chest here and go back to lead chest. LICHESS. Okay, so there's lead chest. Okay, now we're going. Yeah, I got a mouse on a pad. I'm not using a mouse pad. I'm using a hand like this thing. It's a optical mouse and it's on a pad. It's on a pad. Okay, so now I'll just go over here and got the elite chest back open again. I think I closed it when I was like trying to search how to do the mouse and everything. I gotta find you here. Challenges. I don't have any challenges. Oh, here it is. Okay, so green. Green arrow. Okay, so now my mouse is a heck of a lot faster. Maybe I'll be able to do it now. Okay, so I'm gonna take your advice and just do all the pre-moves. Like I'm already pre-moving. Um, I'm not pre-moving fast enough, but I can kind of see where it's faster. I'm gonna sack some stuff, like you said, but the problem is I'm a little bit because my mouse is moving faster. I'm like over extending the mouse, and I'm not accurate anymore. I'm gonna have to get used to the new mouse speed because the mouse is faster, it moves farther than it used to move, and I'm trying to move it, and I kind of like have in my mind how far it should go, and I make that same movement I used to make, and suddenly, my I got to learn how to do the mouse movements a lot closer to home now. I got to get everything tighter. I knew I was going to be able to take him. I missed. See, I was trying to move the king out, the queen out there, and I tried like 3 times. to move it, and I wasn't able. Why are they moving slower? I don't know what we're doing. Oh, that's a, okay, give check so the opponent can lose. Yeah, oh, that's a good hint too, right? I think you're giving me like a complete course. Um, if I was a good student, I would already be winning this game because you're telling me all the best hints. They all make sense. They all make complete sense to me. Like I can understand where you're coming from. If I can check you, and I don't know how to check you, but if I could check you, I could win, right? I mean, crap, man. And then, I'm trying to move him and he's going to the wrong space. No, no, no. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Oh, look at my brain waves. They're just tightening up. That's what happens when I start to feel like a little bit of frustration. Okay, you're going to show me how to check? Okay, let me see. Yeah, I got to see how you're going to do it. Oh, that was good. And then I lost some seconds, right? I would love to just come down and check you. Like, there's a check, right? Guess I checked you. Can come over here and check you, except I'm in checkmate practically. Now you had time to. There, I checked you. Oh, but you moved your. Well, I guess I did a little bit better because I got you down to 10 seconds, right? Normally you have a lot more than 10 seconds on these games when you beat me. 15 seconds and you beat me with 10 seconds on your clock. I don't know. It's like, but you're gonna lose no more time. I'm kind of getting the feel a little bit more of it's becoming a little bit more instinctual now. The fact that that it was moving too far before, but now I'm starting to master the amount of distance I had to move the mouse at these higher speeds. Not completely though. I would love to just check you if I could. There's a check. Oh no, you saw it and got my queen. What? Yeah, you're just gonna beat me on time again, right? Yeah, you sacked your queen and won like, I don't know, a second or so, and that was enough, right? Ah, well, I think I got to figure out some maneuvers to check your king. I mean, it's the only possibility. A check you give you 1 to 2 seconds, right? Then that should be enough, right? If I just have like a second or two. I'm not going to sack my queen though, no way. No, you did the thing just like you were telling me. You, oh man, my waves were really low and then they went up high. Yeah, I got better that time. I got you down to 6 seconds, which is not bad. And I was about equal in material. I mean, I'm not ahead really, but wasn't really losing too badly, except on time. I would love to just check you some more. I mean, it's kind of fun putting in the checks, right? Like you just checked me big time, and oh, I overstepped my checking there. Oh well, no, I because the only reason I got you down to 4 seconds was you took like 8 seconds for one of those moves. I think you were just Because I noticed I had a one hundredth of a second left on my clock, and I was just trying to keep moving. Oh, you had a 6 second lag that time? That's possible to just get a lag? That's horrible. I wouldn't want that in my game. Well, I was gonna try to check in and then get out, but I couldn't. Would have been great if I could have gotten out of there. You see, that always happens. I got a good check planned, and then you check me before I check you, and then it screws me up. It's like I got everything planned to give you a check, and I can't do it because you're checking me. Can't believe the clock is still going. I think you gave me some extra time because I've been really screwing around. You must have given me extra time that time. Oh no, I guess you didn't. Check, no, checkmate. Yeah. Um, are you? How many of these games end just without checkmate? I'm predicting quite a few. I mean, you checkmated me that time, but most of these games kind of end because of the clock, I would imagine. Because a person would have to think a little bit to orchestrate a mate. Unless you're really good. I think there's some really great players that are good at this, right? Like, doesn't Hikaru play this thing 15 seconds? Yeah, most of them are on the clock. I was thinking that they are. Okay, yeah, we'll see you back in a minute. While you're gone, I'll chat with a few other people here. Let me see how many other chatters we got. You're the only chatter? Oh, well. If anybody else is in there chatting, now it's your turn to jump in, get a word in edgewise. Today's the 13th day of Christmas, by the way. And what time is it? Oh, man, I got to go to bed. I mean, my chatter's going to be back in a minute, but I got to go. I just realized, and I have like a commitment like in 30 seconds. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go out. I gotta go. I'm gonna make him a little. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. I'll tell him because I gotta get out of here. Um, I'm gonna. Okay, see ya. Thanks a lot. It was fun playing with you, and I really appreciate your instruction. I basically learned a new thing to do, so that was great. See ya. Okay, bye bye.